There it is. Okay, so hello everyone. As welcome to today's weekly support session. I'm so excited that you're here. We're diving into something that shows up in all of our lives at some point, and those are relationship transitions. So, whether it's the thrill and sometimes the stress, honestly, of moving in with someone, or the emotional roller coaster of moving on from a relationship or a breakup, transitions can often feel overwhelming no matter which side of the pole that they're on. They're scary, they're unpredictable. And let's be real, sometimes they leave you thinking, why is this so hard? But here's the thing, transitions are also some of the most powerful moments in our entire lives. They are where the real growth happens. It's where we learn, it's where we adapt, it's where we discover new things about ourselves and our relationships, and it's where we build that resilience. So, today we're going to be talking about why transitions feel so daunting, but also why they have the potential to be the most transformative experiences of our lives. So, let's go and get into it. Let me get this. Here we go. Let's start off with a question. Why do transitions, whether it's moving in with someone or breaking up with someone, why do they feel so scary? Think about it. Whether you're preparing to share your space and life with someone or stepping into the unknown after a breakup, there's so much uncertainty. I want to hear from you. Have you ever felt that nervousness or fear around a big relationship change? You can let me know in the chat. But have you ever felt that? Have you ever done a big move with your partner? Have you ever had to move in with them or move to a different house or break up with someone? So I want you to go ahead and drop in the chat yes. If you have ever had to go through one of these big relationship transitions. Yes. Oh, yeah. Lynette says yes. Exactly. Yeah, they are searching for something that they need in their relationship, and it's scaring her because she doesn't know what she'll find. But what we're going to find here is the ability of what might be on the other side. Oh, yeah, going through it now after he broke up. Yep. Yep, I feel that deeply. I've been through a divorce and a very bad breakup, two different ones, and they completely rocked me to my core and shaped me and changed me completely. But that's why they can also be so incredibly powerful. So let's break this down. Let's see. Where are we? Oh, yeah. Going through a separation and divorce. Yeah. My heart is with you as well right now. And I just want you to know I'm holding space for you because I've been there and so many of us have as well. So thank you for being here. So I want to break this down as to what transitions are. So they're scary and unpredictable. They throw us into the unknown. And we like having control as humans, don't we? So when that's taken away, it's really tough. It's also emotional and challenging. So they stir up all of these feelings inside of us that we don't know what to do with them, whether they're good or bad or there's anything in between. And they're also transformative and powerful. But the truth is, transitions also have the potential to completely transform our lives, right? They are the moments that shape us, who we are, and how we connect with others. So, first up, I want to talk about how transitions are scary and unpredictable. Why? Why are they? Well, because they come with a lot of unknowns. You're stepping into a new chapter without knowing exactly how it will play out. That fear of unknown, it's incredibly normal. And then, in addition to the unknown, there's the loss of control. So when you move in with someone, you're giving up some personal space and routines. It could be the happiest day of your life and at the same time, the scariest. And when you move on from someone, you're stepping into the future without that person who you are used to having by your side. It can feel like the rug is literally being pulled out from underneath you. Let's say I'm trying to think of an example. Let's say you move in with your partner and then you suddenly realize their idea of clean and your idea of clean are two very different things. So You're starting to realize like, oh my God, what was I thinking? Why did we move in on this? Like, what's happening? And that's okay. That's perfectly normal. But those are some of the scary and unpredictable things that can come up with that. Or maybe after a breakup or a divorce, you thought you'd be fine. You're like, this is good. This is what I've wanted. I really, I planned for this. It's been years coming. But then you hit those unexpected waves of loneliness and sadness because transitions rarely ever go exactly as we plan them. And that's what's really scary about them. But let's get real. Transitions are also incredibly emotional and challenging. So all of the feelings come bubbling up, and sometimes you don't even know what to do with them all, right? So you might be excited about the change, but at the same time, scared out of your mind. You might be relieved to finally be moving on, but also sad about what you lost. We can hold both of those emotions and feelings at the same time, but it can be very challenging in order to do that. And there's no handbook here for how to navigate these emotional swings or adjusting to a new reality. The truth is, it's just really hard. So, an example here might look something like moving in might make you feel super close to your partner, but it also comes with challenges like losing some of your personal space. I know for myself, I had this beautiful house to myself, and then my partner moved in, and I had to move my office into like the tiny little one in the back, and I was like really upset by that. And then I was like, Jen, why are you upset? You should be so excited and happy that he's moving in. And I didn't understand that I was allowed to have both these feelings at the same time. Or even before that, when my ex-husband finally moved out, and I cried myself to sleep that night, even though I was the one that wanted that separation. That's the thing. These emotions, they have no rhyme or reason. They're just parts of our memories resurfacing. So, if you've ever felt both thrilled and terrified at the same time, I just want you to know you're perfectly normal. But here is the exciting part. The part that I actually want to talk about today. The part that isn't just like the down part of like, yeah, transitions are hard. They're life changing. Like, I want you to really hear this. They're exciting and they're life changing. They're transformative. They're powerful. These are the moments that shape us and help us grow in ways we never could have even imagined. Transitions push us out of our comfort zones. They challenge us to adapt, whether that's learning how to live with someone else's quirks or rediscovering yourself after a breakup. They're also opening up to new beginnings. So you might create deeper connections or find a fresh sense of independence through all of this. So let's think about if you are moving in with your partner, that can bring you closer together and help you build a stronger relationship. We've talked about this in the past, but in order to have a resilient relationship, we need that rupture and that repair. And this is what a transition brings us. Transitions can often bring rupture, but it's through that rupture we have the repair, and then we bring out the resilience. This is the strong, fulfilling, happy, satisfying relationship we're all seeking for. And that's on the other side of the transition. Or on the flip side, let's say you're moving on from a relationship. I know it's incredibly sad and it's heartbreaking, and also it can be incredibly empowering. It's your chance to focus on you, set all the goals you want to do, and rediscover what truly makes you happy. When we talk about that rupture and repair in relationships, it just also goes hand in hand with the relationship with yourself. We're going to have to rupture parts of ourselves. We're going to have to get uncomfortable. We're going to have to kind of get over those humps and get through those tunnels and those turmoils in order to get to the other side where we are a more resilient person as well. So let me tell you about two of my clients. I was thinking about this as I was doing this one. I was thinking specifically these two clients went through big two transitions, and both of them had very different journeys. But the common thread is how powerful transitions can be once you step into the unknown. So, one client had been married for about 15 years, and we worked together for over a year trying to get her relationship to a healthier, more secure place. She poured her heart into this. She did all the right things. We went through the program, we did all the things. And in the end, her husband decided that he couldn't do it anymore. and told her that he was going to move out. Blah. Like, I'm having an emotional reaction thinking about it because she was my client. So I was like, it took this very seriously. I was devastated, but like, devastated doesn't even be able to cover what she was feeling, right? If you've been through that loss, if you've been through that just out of nowhere, he hits you with a I'm moving out or you need to go, you know that is deep and it's hard and it crushed her. And I was really upset with him. I was like, let me go beat him up as well. But that's unprofessional. I can't do that. But listen, she did fall into a deep depression and the transition was really, really hard. I just like to be really honest about this. But we kept working together. I'm almost glad that we were working together during this time because all of a sudden something started to shift in her. And it was really cool. She began to light up again. And the parts of her that had been weighing her down by her marriage and by this husband, it slowly began to fade. She was laughing more. Like there was parts of her face that I hadn't even seen before that were just lighting up when she was talking about silly things happening in her life. She started seeing things differently. It was like she had been afraid of this transition for so long, so she was holding on to a life that wasn't fulfilling her. But now that she was living alone for the first time in her life, because she went from parents to college to husband, and it was the scariest thing that she had ever done in her entire life, but it was also the most fulfilling. And over the course of the next few years, I got to watch her grow in ways neither of us ever thought was possible. And this growth came because of that transition. But now, let's talk about another client of mine, someone with a completely different kind of transition. And she hadn't dated in about, I think it was like I know it was like 5 or 6 years or something at the time. And she came to me because she wanted to, get back out there, get on those dating apps. And she'd heard that, I help people with dating apps and putting their profiles together and doing all that stuff. And so I was like, yeah, let's do it. And she's like, she couldn't bring herself to do it. Every time she downloaded the app, she immediately got rid of it again. And she just was like, she was terrified. The questions, the voices in her head, the stories, like, what if I make a fool out of myself? What if somebody I know finds me? What if I meet another narcissist? What if I'm not ready? Right? You hear all of the questions, you hear all the stories, the things holding her back. But here's the thing. As we worked through her fears, she started seeing different questions, different stories in her mind. And I started getting her to reframe these thought processes. What if? What ifs are fine. We can always what if. But what if she finds the most amazing man ever? What if she finds someone to spend Fridays nights with, someone who wants to get sushi as takeaway as much as she does every Friday night? Like that was her thing. And she wanted to find someone to do that with her. And so through all of that fear and uncertainty, she started stepping into her transition to put herself out there. I only worked with her for a little while, but last I checked in with her, she is seeing someone regularly now. And it really makes me happy to be able to kind of like sneak in and see it on her Facebook profile. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope they're happy. I hope I never see her again, because then that would mean she's happy and fulfilling and joyful. And that transition, even though it was terrifying, it led to something beautiful for her. And so, as you can see, transitions are stepping stones into the unknown. There's a quote I love. I think I have it up there. There's a quote I love, and it's, what if I fall? And the person replies, oh, but darling, what if you fly? Transitions aren't something to fear. There's something to be excited about and to embrace. So as you have heard these stories, I just want you to keep in mind that transitions can feel overwhelming and scary and terrifying and all over the place. So whether you're dealing with a major life change, like ending a long-term relationship or moving in or finding something for your relationship or just learning how to have those big conversations or dealing with a separation, all of these things, I just want you to remember that the uncertainty will always be there. But the key is that while transitions are full of challenges and uncertainty and scary things, they're also full of opportunity. And that's what I really, really want us to take away from this entire learning lesson. So let's take a look. Well, actually, let me go back. I'm going to recap real quick. We talked about this. Transitions are unpredictable and scary. Yeah, they throw us into uncertainty, but remember, in that uncertainty, it's good. That uncertainty is good for us. And transitions are also emotional and challenging. And they bring all types of emotions, and they force us to confront things, though, that we've previously been avoiding. And then again, transitions are transformative and powerful. But through the discomfort, they give us the chance to grow, to learn, and to step into something more beautiful. So it's not about avoiding fear. It's about embracing the opportunities that come from stepping into the unknown. Now, we'll get to the questions that are also on your prompt, but you can just read them here as well. What transition are you currently navigating? It's something for you to think about right now. We can go into it during the Q&A as well. Maybe you're moving in with someone. Maybe you're moving on from a relationship or just getting started and learning how, or you're stepping into a new phase of life. Wherever you are in your journey, I want to just know, how are you feeling about it? That's one thing. Also, what emotions have come up for you during this transition? Is there excitement, maybe fear, overwhelm? It could be a mix of everything, like we were talking about, right? You can hold two emotions at the same time. Hell, you can hold 20 emotions at the same time. That's what our bodies are built for. But have you ever been able to acknowledge and sit with these emotions? That's what this question is really good for if you get a chance to do that this week. And lastly, how can you embrace the power of this transition? What growth or new opportunities or transformation can you find within this change? How can you start looking at this transition as an opportunity for something beautiful rather than something scary that's getting taken away from you? So remember, the goal isn't to avoid transitions or to avoid the fear of them, but to recognize that they bring about opportunities for growth, for love, and for deeper connection and resilience. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts on these questions or anything else that you have. So feel free to drop your questions in the chat, or you can raise your hand, your virtual hand, or go ahead and just even unmute. We're pretty chill here. And I will put the journal entry prompts in the chat again for anyone that came in a little bit later. There you are.